Kathryn and welcome to Book Dissect, where I take the best and worst from books to help you be a better writer. Today we're talking about The Rook by Daniel O'Malley. I have so many books on my to-be read list. My going out of my way to get this book so that I could dissect it makes absolutely no sense because there's a huge pile, guys, but I did. And the reason for it is because I watched the Rook TV show and I fell in love. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's based off a book. I need to get said book so that I can find out what happens. And this isn't going to compare the book to the TV show because I don't like that. But I will say, the book and the TV show are not the same. Like, aside from the names and the overall generalization of the characters, that's the only same thing, because the plots of the TV show and the book are going in two different directions. And I'm so happy about that, because if you read the book and you know how it ends, and you watch the TV show and you see where it's going, then I don't want to ruin it. But what I will say is that I think the TV show is amazing. I love it. But the book is also amazing, and I love it. And I've never been in a situation like that where the book wasn't just the hands down overall winner. This is what makes writing amazing, because who's ever writing for the show, you guys are awesome. I'm liking where they're going in the show, but if you're getting the book because of the show, you might be disappointed because they're just not the same. There's a whole bunch of crap that you guys can take away from this book to help you be a better writer. Number one, I enjoyed this book so much. Not the ending. The ending was just, no, oh my gosh. I'm still like, about it. The character development in this book is amazing, and I've been rolling around in my head trying to come up with words to express how much I love the character development, and I can't pinpoint exactly what the author did to just make these really compelling characters that I connected with. And I haven't figured it out, but if you want an example of incredible character development, you need to read this book, because Daniel's doing something right. I can't express it. I don't know what it was. I still need to figure that out. Hopefully when I write the blog, I'll have had some time to like chew this over in my mind and I can spit something more articulate out. I just know I love the characters. They are so compelling. They stick with me. I want to know what happens to them. I was devastated by some of the things that happened to them and just say, no, why? Second up would be the writing techniques that the author used. More often than not, when you're writing a story, you either use first person or third person. Second person, you, is not something that you see that often in writing. The reason for that is, one, using you is a high, advanced writing technique. It is difficult to do because it is so easy to fudge it up. When you use you, you're talking directly to your reader. If done correctly, you can pull the reader in. They will see themselves as your character, and that's amazing. That's what you want. However, what you can also do is push your reader away, and they will disconnect from your story. I think that's why you don't see it that often. Or if you do, it's very limited because it's really easy to screw up. Daniel uses third person and second person throughout the book, and it's done in such a creative and engaging way. And the way that it's done is you have the main character, Mythony, who has lost her memory. But Mythony, with her memories, knew that she was going to lose her memory. And what she did is she wrote notes to herself to help her navigate her life without her memory. So you'll have a chapter in third person where we're seeing what Mythony's doing in her day. And then you'll have another chapter of Mythony talking to herself through these letters. I'm going to say most of the time, The letters were very engaging and pulled me into the story, and I liked it. The only problem is you had other instances where it really wasn't letters to herself, it was just notes that she took that the character was reading, and the notes were nothing more than a gigantic info dump. That's the only thing about the book that I didn't like, is that sometimes these notes that Miffy had wrote to herself were just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. I think the best example I can give is you have the Shike, which is the secret superpower organization in the UK, and then you have Croatoa. I should know this because it's based off the Lost Colony from my country. But she gave the whole history of this secret government organization. And I mean, it's sort of interesting, but like you really did need to know the whole history to understand the story. It was an info dump, and yeah. I sort of wish sometimes that we got the cliff notes, and that was the only bad thing about the story in my opinion, because everything else was amazing except for maybe the ending. We're not going to talk about the ending because why? That's all I'm gonna. Why? Overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was so worth pushing all the other to be read books in the corner to get through this one, because it's such an amazing read, but there's also so much that you can take away as a writer. So I'd highly recommend this, and if you enjoyed the book, maybe check out the show, because I swear I love the show. The show is just as good, and I can't believe I'm saying that because normally it's always the book, hands down. That's what I have for you guys this week. If you're watching The Rook, or if you read the book, say something in the comments below. We'll have to be BFFs and bond over our love of this story. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. The algorithm doesn't care as long as you interact with my videos. And if you want to help support the channel, then please consider sharing this with your friends, families, and strangers on the internet, because that helps out a lot. All my social links have been left in the description below. For your convenience, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and I keep a blog where I keep the conversation going, so be sure to check that all out. Hit the red button to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. But if YouTube doesn't want to tell you when my videos come out, come back on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, because that's when I release new videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Tootsies, may applesines. I have never shipped characters so hard as I ship characters in The Rook. Miffy needs to get together with Gestalt. Like, oh my gosh, and it's such a weird thing because Gestalt is one consciousness over 4 bodies. It's confusing.